Hey guys, so this video is kind of impromptu. I literally just thought of this. Usually I'll have something planned out previously. Anyway, I wanted to do a video about how I'm treating my seasonal depression this year because I do have seasonal affective disorder, as you guys know. I talk about it a lot, but I wanted to talk a little bit about how I'm treating it basically for this year, because in the past years I've never really done anything for it. I kind of just struggle through it, and given how bad last year was, where it was, how do I say this? It was very dark. I had never really been suicidal in the past years, not as seriously as I was this last winter though. So I knew that this year would probably be similar because it seems to be just gets worse and worse every single year. So I'm trying to be a little bit more proactive in how I deal with it and how I treat it. So this is just some things that I'm going to be doing. Obviously, these treatments are not for everyone, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, none of that. So please do not take this as advice for how to treat seasonal affective disorder or depression in general. This is not about that. I just wanted to share what I'm going to be doing personally, because maybe some research in these topics could help one of you guys out that may be experiencing it as well. Some of these things are specific to seasonal affective disorder, and some of these things are just for treating depression in general. So let's get into it. The first thing that I'm going to be doing is doing therapy every single week, talk therapy. I've actually started this months ago, I think back in July. I don't know when I started, but I do online counseling. I've done a couple videos on it. I will link them up here if you want some more info on it, and I'll have a link to BetterHelp down below. That's the website that I use for online therapy personally. I find it super beneficial and amazing. Again, it's not for everyone. Some people need the physical in-person therapy, so you know, but that option's out there anyway. But I do about a session a week, and they're usually about an hour and a half. Actually just had a session, so I'm feeling good, feeling optimistic today. That's the thing about seasonal depression. It's like, it's not always like when it's cloudy, you're depressed that day. It's like today's a good day and it's raining. Yesterday was not a good day. It was a very dark day yesterday and it was raining. So it's kind of an up and down. There's really no one reason for it. And that's something that my counselor and I talked about today. And that is something that she said really resonated with me. And that is knowing why something is happening or why we feel a certain way isn't always as relevant as we think it is. We don't necessarily have to figure out what triggered our emotions or how we're feeling or what caused our feelings for that day, because I had experienced way worse days in the past and felt way better than I did yesterday. It's just we can't always explain it. And it's like, I know that. I studied psychology. I've experienced seasonal depression for years now, like a decade. But yet I still question, like, well, what happened today? Why am I so sad today? And it's not explainable. Anyway, kind of went on a tangent there, but this video is kind of casual. We're just talking about our depression. One thing that is new this year that I will be doing future update videos on, probably won't be relevant videos at all, and I won't get any views, but that's okay. The people who need it and want to know more about it will click on those videos. But I decided to get a light therapy box this year. This is something that you can use if you have seasonal affective disorder, because basically seasonal depression is caused by lack of sunlight. It kind of throws off our circadian rhythm and changes the chemicals in our brain for those winter months when it is cloudy. So you bring in light therapy and it creates sunlight in your life. That's basically what it is. This one is prescription strength. I'll have a direct link to this one down below. I got it on Amazon for around $55, which seems like a lot of money. That's about on average what like I pay for a therapy session, and you know, it lasts a while. Like, you know, what I do, today was day 3 of using this, so I can't report on how it affects me. It takes about a week or two to feel any kind of results from it. But what I do with it is I put it on my nightstand and I sit in front of it every morning with my coffee for about 30 minutes. There's a timer on here for 15, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and 60 minutes on this particular one. You want to make sure if you get a sun lamp or like something similar, it's at least 10,000 lux. I don't know what that means necessarily, but that is prescription strength light. If it's less than that, you have to sit in front of it a lot longer. But I do 30 minutes a day so far just to start out. So I will report back to you guys and let you know how this goes for me this year. The other thing that I do that's kind of specific to seasonal depression is I supplement. Supplementing isn't going to be for everyone. I personally supplement with B complex because I am a vegetarian and I don't get a lot of B vitamins anymore, so I do that. Obviously I'm not a doctor, don't take that as like, oh, I am vegan or vegetarian, I should do that. Make sure you do your own research and or speak to a doctor before you supplement, because I'm not going to sit here and tell you to do this. This is just, like I said, I'm just doing what I'm doing and telling you guys. And then this is specific to seasonal depression, is taking vitamin D supplement. Because we are missing that in our life, and that's one thing that we can't get from like light, fake light. We need it from the sun. So I am going to be supplementing vitamin D this year, which I've done this in the past but not as consistently as I probably should. So I'm going to do this consistently throughout the winter, and I might do an update video on this video and let you know what therapy or what treatments and things that I'm doing for this year worked and what I felt was useless and all of that. So let me know if you want an update to this video in March, because that's usually when I start to feel better. So the last few things are less like treatment-y things, like therapy, light therapy supplements. They're a little bit more just day-to-day things that I am trying to do that everyone should do and can do. The first being is to exercise realistically. I know that's really annoying advice for people who feel sad or have anxiety when people tell you to exercise. I find it helps me a ton. It doesn't help everyone. So, I mean, I think everyone should try it because exercise is great for you. But I'm not one of those preachy people who are like, you need to do that. That's going to cure all your problems, because it won't. But it's not going to hurt you. So that's why I do it. So exercising realistically, I set that word in my notes specifically, realistic workouts. Basically just whenever I can, whenever I feel the energy, whenever I want to. It's not anything, you know, ideally I would want to do it at least 3 times a week, but if there are weeks that I don't do that, I'm not going to beat myself up for it, because that's the last thing I need when you're feeling depressed, is to beat yourself up. So that's going to be relevant in a second when I talk about another point. But yeah, realistic workouts, just feeling better. I don't know, at least for 20 minutes for every workout. I'm not going to push myself to do like an hour cardio every day, although I would probably feel a million times better if I did. But you guys know, if you experience depression, that's not feasible to do an hour workout every day. Maybe it is for some people, not for me. I can't find that motivation. So whatever I can do, and I'll feel proud of myself for doing whatever I can. And then one thing that I've started doing is meditating for 10 minutes after my workouts. If I work out for 20 minutes or more, you get the rush of endorphins. I find that you need to do it for at least 20 minutes to do that. So you feel the rush of like positive energy in your body. So I sit with that for 10 minutes and meditate. I use apps because I am not a good meditator. I suck at it. Like, I'm so bad. But I really love Headspace. I started using that, and you do have to pay for it. I have not yet. I'm just doing like the beginner intro meditations right now, so we'll see how that goes. If I like it, I'll probably buy the service. If not, there's a bunch of other meditation apps that I can try as well. So that's something that I'm trying to do. I find that carries with me for a few hours after, and I just feel really good. So obviously it's not gonna fix depression. That's not the answer for everything. That's why medication exists, therapy exists, things like light therapy exist, because if it were that easy to just work out and meditate, we would all be cured of our depression. So, you know, but it's just something that I feel like I can do. Like, I can do to be more proactive in it. The next thing is clean space equals clean mind. One thing I did today, yesterday was a really bad day, and I found that my space was just not helping. I didn't want to be in my room because it was just so chaotic, and obviously I still have Halloween decor. I'll undecorate eventually, but I decided today to spend at least like 30 minutes just cleaning my room, because I find I just feel more at peace with myself when the space around me, granted it's not clean, I don't clean, I just tidy, like, you know, just pick up the stuff off the floor, throw the trash away, take out the dirty dishes, things like that, to make it feel just more comfortable. So that's one thing I'm going to be implementing as well more this winter, is just tidying up a little bit more to clear my mind a little bit more. And the last thing that this is the #1 thing I have learned in therapy, the months of therapy that I've been in so far with my current counselor. I've raved about her for so long, as you guys know. She's amazing. The biggest thing that she has taught me is to practice compassion and forgiveness in yourself. And this tool, let me tell you, has been changing my life. And it's just made me feel so much better. And that's what I was hinting at when I was talking about exercise. I don't do exercise at all in a week, or I don't meditate. It's about forgiving yourself and showing yourself compassion, that there's a reason you just weren't feeling up to that, and to be okay. Like, it's okay. You don't have to push yourself to the extreme if you are just simply not feeling it. I feel like practicing compassion when you are feeling depressed is huge, because you have to be kind to yourself, because you feel like your worst enemy when you're depressed. You're constantly talking down about yourself to yourself. And to show yourself compassion, like, it just creates such a positive mental state when you do that. And you can definitely have your moments. There's a balance with this. You can't just be 100% like compassionate for every single thing that you want or need, because obviously I told my therapist today, like, if I did that, every single day would be a mental health day, because, you know, who necessarily wants to work? Who wants to do chores? Who wants to scoop the cat box? You know, we don't want to do these things. So if I was too compassionate for myself and too kind, I wouldn't get anything done. So it is kind of a give and take. But in those instances where you are feeling the worst, telling yourself that it's okay, that you're allowed to feel this, and to not suppress it, or, you know, try to get rid of those thoughts, because that's just not going to be effective. It's just not going to work. It's going to do the opposite for you, actually. So just telling yourself it's okay, taking that time, because that is what you need in that moment. And that's like the #1 thing about self-care, is to ask yourself, what do I need right now? What do I want right now? And what's going to help me right now? I'm going to shout out a little article that I did. There was a girl named Kristen who interviewed me for her school. I will have a link to the article down below. It's about self-care. It's a really good, well-written article. I highly recommend reading it if you want to. Just thought I'd give that a little shout out. But those are the tools that I'm basically going to put into play this year. There are things that I haven't necessarily done in the past years during my seasonal depression. Again, these are not one-size-fits-all treatments for everyone who is suffering from depression or seasonal depression. But hopefully this kind of helps in finding new tools for you guys and new techniques. I will keep you guys updated on the light therapy, and let you guys know how that goes. But let me know your personal tools that you use for depression or anxiety down below in the comments. Anything that helps you get through the day, because we should just take it one day at a time, not look at the whole months of all the future months. Just one day at a time. So let me know what gets you through your day. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. You guys want to see how bright this is? It's so bright. It doesn't look that bright on camera. It's like I'm tanning, but not, because there's no UV lights in this, don't worry. But yeah, this is a light. It's pretty cool, right?